Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing great and having a great Labor Day weekend. I know it's super weird for me being on like this. This is how we normally do our morning announcements, but as I was thinking this weekend, I thought about how much time we've been able to devote to our academics through PLCs, MTSS meetings, our grade level meetings, but we really don't have a lot of time to go deep in discussions of how to support our students with their behavioral needs or social emotional challenges. And so I was thinking that this might be a really good opportunity to have short videos just to go a little deeper um, in these areas with social emotional learning and how to support our students behaviorally. Lydia and I talked a little bit about doing this. She had a great idea to do some podcasts, which I think is awesome. But I also thought maybe if I did some videos, it also would not just hit our staff members that go to staff meetings, but would it be an opportunity for every staff member to hear the same messages? So, with that being said, this first little video is called Staying Afloat and Moving Forward, addressing the social, emotional, and behavioral needs of our students. And it's just the beginning of the journey. So let me show you what the timeline of this journey looks like. Okay, so here's the timeline. From now, September 1st through the 30th, um, I thought we would start with an overview of Boys Town. Some of you have heard about Boys Town, some of you haven't, but basically, it's a behavior intervention system that we use that pairs with TBRI. So we'll learn more about that. Number two, I'd like us to learn about more key takeaways from TBRI. I know all of you have had TBRI or are going to have it, but we want to make sure that we stay up on that throughout the year. The other thing is, I'd like us to focus on key takeaways from our behavior support team and our special ed team. These individuals have a great deal of knowledge and experience working with students with behavioral needs, and we want to learn from them as well. This month, they've also been focusing on CA need and MEDA need. We'll learn more about that as well. And then finally in September, the ROAR team will meet. Then, as we move into October through the first semester, through December 31st, I want us to focus on setting the stage for success, for student success. So, setting up our environment, taking a closer look at our procedures, making sure that whether it's school wide or in the classroom, we're breaking things down into steps. We'll talk more about morning message boards, visual schedules, informal time. We'll talk about determining school-wide non-negotiables. And then I'd like us to dive deeper into TBRI interventions, as well as taking a deeper dive into looking at our behaviors on our behavior matrix and matching those interventions. Um, and then also inputting that data into Skyward. And then finally, I'd like us to also find and create ideas to celebrate positive behavior as a whole at school. So that's first semester. Then, second semester in January, I want us to kind of continue our Boys Town training and focus. At that time, I intend to use the morning announcement platform to teach social skills to students. So, we'll be doing that in January. And then also, we will be refining our TBRI practices with students and with staff, kind of that deeper dive, continuing that in January as well. Then, beginning the end of March, I'm sorry, yes, through the end of the year, I would like us to kind of reflect upon the year and determine what our needs are at that point, and kind of formulate a plan from that point to the end of the year, as well as beginning to talk about the year 26, 27 and what we want to do. So basically, we're really specifically targeting what are we doing to meet the needs of our students in our school. Okay. Before we wrap up, I'd like to send you off with the few quick reminders. Number one, I'm asking each and every one of you to focus on self regulation and self care. And maybe I should have put self care first. We have to take care of ourselves. And I've really been trying to focus on this myself. If we are dysregulated, we cannot regulate our students. If we are coming in and we're not kind to each other, or we kind of are creating that toxic environment, our students feel it. So it's important that we really take an extra time to focus on this. Number two, remember our behavior team, our special ed team, our admin team. We are there to help you and to help offer support and guidance in working through student behaviors. Um, Please be gentle with our team. We are learning along the way as well. But remember, if there's a level 1 or 2 behavior that you are asking help for, most likely we're going to come into the room and help regulate the student there. Okay. So, because we want the students to stay in the room, and it becomes a very slippery slope when we start pulling students out of the room at that time. Now, that being said, there are times that the student needs to take a break. They need a reset. You need a reset. The class needs a reset. If we pull a student, know that they're going to have a reset. They're going to have time for corrective teaching. And then we will have the reentry point. Reentry is very important. And reentry means that you're there greeting them and going, I'm glad you're back. Let me get you started. And we don't bring up what just happened. That's going to be really important. The other thing I want to share is, and I know this is hard sometimes, but we ask that students are not threatened with administration or threatened with restart. The idea is that we are focusing on helping the students to regulate their emotions and to help us meet their needs and to get them back on track so that they are learning. We do not want threats to be part of that. So if you do need to call admin, just call admin. If you need to call restart, then you'll call that restart. But please do not threaten the student with that. Okay. If you have questions on that, let me know. And then another, and then one more piece is please try to refrain from talking about the student in front of the student unless it's a joint conversation. The reason is that it really does trigger a lot of students. And so if there's information that you need to share with us, you can say, um, do it in private, or I'll send you a quick text or a quick email. But that will help us to know what happened, but without doing so in front of the student. And then finally, just remember that we are all in this together. We're learning and we're working along the way. We're navigating some rough waters. And I know it's been a challenge at the start of the year. I know it. We have more kids, even more so than last year, that are coming to us from some really hard places. And the success that we're going to have is depending on how well we navigate these waters and how we work together. We may have to refine and redefine some of our systems in order to make it work, but it's really important that we remember that we're going to stick together for this. And by doing so, we're going to keep getting better and better. And I just want to personally thank all of you for just your hard work. I know you're showing up every day, and it means a lot. And I thank you for that. Okay, that being said, have a great rest of your holiday weekend. We only have 4 days this week, and I will see you guys on Tuesday. Bye.